Hello and welcome to Let's Dance with Charlotte Elizabeth. That's me. So this podcast is going to cover everything from dance, health, fitness. I will include how to prepare for your first dance for your wedding or using that kind of scenario for special occasions. There will be planning hen parties and ideas for planning hen parties, but the main focus of this podcast is dance. I am the owner of Feel the Beats UK, and I'm going to get you all moving. So let's get on with the show. Hello! So this episode is going out a little bit later than planned. I normally try and schedule them to go out in the morning, and I didn't have it ready. But actually, in this kind of coming back following moving, I have taken the pressure off of myself for being perfect and for doing how you should hate that word how you should do things. So yes, my episodes will always go out on a Friday. Will they always go out at 6 o'clock in the morning? Not always, because I won't always get them done in advance, and it's kind of a topic for another day, but I don't always know what I want to say, and the podcast gurus will tell you to batch create and da 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 da. But that just doesn't work for me, because I want to be able to bring you along in my thought processes, and I can't always think in advance. Like, even recording this episode, I'm not even sure what's going to come out of my mouth. Just because, and if you've listened to back episodes, you'll know that my brain just goes on a tangent, and there may be some, I don't know. There could be, there couldn't be. People say I am. I'm not sure. ADHD. Who knows? Meh. I am definitely dyslexic. There is definitely elements of dyslexia, and I know that has an effect, and that's a story for another day. So yeah, it's not when it should have been, but it's going out, and that's what's key for me now, is that I do the do. When it happens, it is irrelevant. So today's episode, let's get into it. Because let's face it, your time is precious and you don't need to listen to me just ramble away for the sake of it. Today's episode is all about movement and taking that pressure off it being perfect. So the other day was International Dance Day, and I shared a video that wasn't perfect. I had got a tiny little space in my house from where I'd done some moving of boxes and things, and I was like, oh, I've got a perfect little dance space. And I set up my phone, just propped up against the wall, and filmed with whatever came out. There was no planning to it. It was completely improvised. I tried to do a jump and didn't have enough space to do a jump. That's how improvised it was. And I get very fixated on the camera when I record my dances, but I don't get so fixated on the camera when I do my pole moves, which is interesting. And I think it's because in my head, there's an expectation that my dance is going to be this magical, beautiful thing, which to an untrained person probably is. Whereas my pole, everyone knows I'm not a pole expert. I don't know. There's something going on there, but I get very fixated. And when I watched it back, I was like, actually, I think I preferred this, the one that I shared, because it wasn't controlled and fluid and all of that. It was literally me responding to the music. And that is everything that I am doing now with my business. I am responding to how I feel, to things that people say to me. Like, I'm still having conversations with people about the transition phase that I'm going through, because I'm still not 100% on what the service is actually going to look like. But the response has just been heartwarming. And I shared it in today's email. So if you're not on my email list, why? But I shared that it's been heartwarming, that people are like, oh my God, I love it. I can't wait to see more. Like, it's just, I'm excited, and I'm playing with a couple of ideas, one of which is a journal. So, and it's kind of a movement journal, because I struggle with journaling. I need a prompt. And sometimes I just need to get out of my head. And the easiest way I find to get out of my head is to move. So, yes, it's going to be a prompt to get you to write, but it's also going to be a prompt to get you to move. So, there are going to be movement videos in there, and I don't think there's anything that exists. That's how exciting it is. So, it's kind of more of a move. So, rather than just a YouTube playlist of videos that you can tap into, blah, 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 they're going to be guided. They're going to be guided. Like I said, there's going to be a prompt with it. So there's going to be energy boosters. There's going to be stretch and release. There's going to be, let's just move. There might be little dance routines. So I'm still playing with it, but that is one of the ideas that I am playing with, and that will obviously be a kind of semi-passive income stream for me. I will be bringing my pop-up sessions back. They won't necessarily be themed this time. We will see how the brain goes. Still doing some moving things around in the house to work out how I can actually do a movement session in the house with the layout of kind of our lounge goes into our kind of dining area and into the kitchen. So I've just got to work out a few kind of furniture moves. Where does the furniture move to enable me to utilize the space that is here to run some online sessions? So they may be themed, they may just be see what happens kind of sessions. But I'll do kind of a few tasters before committing into a paid thing. And yeah, I'm just seeing what happens, and I'm kind of experimenting and playing and finding the fun and then bringing you along with me. Um, so that was my point. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be polished. And actually, I think that's what pole has taught me, that it doesn't have to be perfect. It's finding your way, and getting there your way. So, like, there's a move that we do, and if you're following me on socials, you'll see it within some of my videos. I don't get out of it very gracefully because I don't know how to get out of it gracefully. I'm like, right, I'm in this move. How do I now get out of it? And my body just kind of finds the floor and I get there. But to get into the move, you're technically supposed to hook your leg around the pole and kind of just fall forward and your other leg come off the floor. So you kind of like you fall into the motion of the spin. I really struggle with that because my brain tells me I'm going to fall flat on my face. I don't trust my body enough to do it. So I found a cheat by having my other leg leant against the pole. It's like my knee is leant against the pole because then I can just go into the motion and my foot come off the floor. I'm not having to fall as much and I'm kind of semi in where I need to end up, but I still get in the move. So it's finding your way around things. Like I say, it doesn't have to be perfect. And this podcast isn't perfect. There are definitely going to be people that listen to this and go, I wish you'd get to the point. But that's the point. There is no point, really, necessarily. It's not scripted. It is literally whatever comes into my head is what's going to come out my mouth. And that's me. It's not perfect. It's not polished. And it's never going to be. So if you're listening to this wishing that I would be more scripted and polished and giving you some key tips, sorry, this isn't the podcast for you. And my emails aren't like that either. So yeah, that's today's episode on, obviously we've had International Dance Day. I think there was a movement day. So this bank holiday weekend, I really encourage you to go and move. Whatever that means for you, whether that's going for a walk, whether it's dancing around the house, even if it's just doing a little bit of a stretch. Just move in whatever way feels good for you. And I will catch you on next week's episode with some more ramblings, but a bit more of a connection to me and why these are so rambly. So yeah, I will see you next time.